welcome to the annual book signing celebration of the Grannie Annie Family Stories Celebration. My name is Connie McIntyre. I'm a co-founder and the executive director at the Grannie Annie, and I'm really happy to be here with all of you today, celebrating these amazing young people and their family stories that all the families who are here have been so gracious to share. I want you to know, if you don't know already, that the Grannie Annie each year invites young people from everywhere to learn a story from their family's history, capture that story in their very best writing, and then share the story. Some of the stories are illustrated by the authors, and some stories are illustrated by other students in the same age group. This year's project, it's a year-long project, received some financial support, again, from the Missouri Arts Council, which is a state agency, and the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis. And I also want to say how thankful we are to the Missouri History Museum for providing us this wonderful space and all the wonderful technology support so that we can really appreciate the stories that you're going to hear today. So today we are honoring the actually 806 young people who participated in the Grannie Annie this year. They came from across the United States and also from India, actually. And today what you will be hearing are some of the family stories that were published this year in Volume 10 of Grannie Annie. You'll also be hearing about some of the illustrations that were inspired by some of those family stories. So yes, Volume 10. I can hardly believe it was 10 years ago that Fran Hamilton and I had the first conversations that led to the founding of the Grannie Annie. And there were actually a number of really good ideas that inspired the Grannie Annie, and not the least of those is the real power of family stories to affect people's lives. For as long as I can remember, I've known the story of my grandmother and how she crossed the ocean in 1913. She was 18 years old and was traveling by herself, coming to America to visit her two brothers who had immigrated here previously. And I have been so inspired by that story, how brave she was and how adventurous she was. And then, when I finally learned the other reason that she came to the United States, and I finally learned why she didn't go back to her family homeland, that really changed my life forever. So please sit back, relax, be comfortable. You're about to hear some very powerful family stories and hear about the illustrations that some of those stories inspired. And you're going to be hearing from some extremely talented and creative young people who we're very honored to have here with us today. Some from the St. Louis area, and some from North Carolina, and one from New York. Am I missing anyone else? No, that's it. We are honored. We're truly honored that you all took time out of your day to be here with us today and to share your work with us. So thank you for that. I'm going to turn this over to Fran Hamilton. She has a few words to say. And then we will let the stories begin. Thank you.